So Ian Garry is obviously, understandably, very pissed off at Sean Strickland. You know, he's been calling him a cuck and talking a load of shit about him and his wife for about the last week. And Ian Garry put out this video and he mentioned something very interesting, which would lead you to believe he wants to fight Sean Strickland, which makes a lot of sense. Sean Strickland, you know, he said a lot of shit about him. So I'm just going to play the video you know, of Ian Garry talking, and then I'll give you my thoughts on it. So here's the video.
More people talk, the harder I work. Got more people to prove wrong. It's not fueling me. It's pissing me off. Young, reach. Now we've got. I might have to win a middleweight world title before I win the welterweight.
So, you know, he's talking about how it's not fueling him, which it's pissing him off, which is actually really bad to hear from Ian Garry. That's not good. He's more of a technical fighter. He's not, you know, Ian Garry's not some guy who can go in there brawling and fight with aggression. He's more of a technical, you know, long-rangey striker. So that's not good for him if you want him to win against Luque. I still think he'll beat Luque, but, you know, it is something worrying. But to get on with what he mentioned at the end there, he said, it looks like I'm going to have to go and get the middleweight belt before I go and win the welterweight strap. So obviously he's alluding to Sean Strickland being the middleweight champion. You know, Sean Strickland's talking all the shit in the world about him. Like literally all the shit. Like you can imagine, he's calling him the ultimate fighting cuck. It was a photo of Ian Garry with all the belts, and it said Ian Garry if he was the ultimate fighting cuck. If the UFC stood for Ultimate Fighting Cuck. You know, he said a lot of shit about him. He's called him a insecure little boy. He's called his wife a sexual predator. I'm not agreeing with these statements. I'm just listing what Sean Strickland has said. Please don't sue me. But, no way they see this video. But, yeah, you know, pretty much Sean Strickland's been talking a lot of smack. I mean, everybody knows about the smack talk. But I am not just a drama fucking TMZ MMA page. I'm actually going to speak about a hypothetical matchup here between Sean Strickland and Ian Garry. So factoring in, obviously, Sean Strickland is upper division. He has fought at welterweight though. He's a boxer, parries a lot of shots, fights with a Philly shell. Very interesting, unorthodox style for MMA. Very good with parrying his shots. Very good defensively. Very good. Obviously, I'd say Ian Garry more faster. Power-wise, I'd say they're about the same with just like overall power. I know people are gonna say what, but look at Ian Garry. Like besides catching Jordan Williams, who's diabetic, and you know him cutting weight to welterweight is like fucking completely killing him because he's got diabetes. And this isn't me making a joke. I'm not even being a smartass. Having diabetes and cutting weight depletes you so much more than a normal person would cutting weight because obviously, you know, being diabetic really is just a disadvantage. Like that's why Jordan Williams was fighting at middleweight because he just can't cut weight because it kills him. Obviously, he needs to stay hydrated. He needs to eat proper food and everything. He has to do his insulin shots and everything. So outside of him knocking out Jordan Williams with the hands, he's never got like a one punch KO. Obviously, he head kicked Daniel Rodriguez, but that's a head kick. Most people are going to get knocked out to a head kick, even though he wasn't out cold or anything. And then obviously he also, before that, he got a TKO over Song Kanung, but that was like a cumulative damage. You know, both these guys sort of do the accumulative damage thing. Neither of these guys are one punch artists. I feel confident in saying that. Maybe, you know, Ian Garry's faster, so he does have that going for him, but I'd say equal power. Plus, Sean Strickland's a middleweight. You know, he's fighting bigger guys. He's knocking some big guys down. He knocked down Israel Adesanya, who's got a pretty good chin. Obviously, he broke Abbas Magomedov, but again, he's more of an accumulative guy. So I'm going to say that they have equal power, even though, you know, they're different divisions. Ian Garry's a pretty big size welterweight. Like, I don't think he would look undersized at middleweight, especially because I'd imagine he would bulk up and stuff like that. So I'm going to say they have equal power. I'm going to say Ian Garry's got the speed. Sean Strickland obviously got the experience advantage in this fight. You know, he's had way many more fights. You know, fucking way more fights. Also had an amateur career, but not much is known about. I think he went 6-0, something like that. So he's got even more fights that we haven't seen. Obviously, very good wrestling, but we never see him wrestle. But he has got good jiu-jitsu. We know that for sure. I'd probably say Sean Strickland's got the takedown defense advantage, and I'd say he's got the grappling advantage here. But again, Ian Garry, judo black belt, so who knows? But I would imagine this fight would just stay on the feet. And just going on stylistic matchups that they fought, I'd say the fighter you could compare Ian Garry to most to out of Sean Strickland's past opponents would be, I'm not saying that they're the same level, I'm just saying stylistically would probably be Israel Adesanya. They sort of have sort of similar style, very kickboxing heavy. Obviously, Ian Garry's definitely got better boxing than Israel Adesanya, in my opinion. Israel Adesanya's not really got the best boxing, in my opinion. I know that might sound like a hot take, but if you just watch Israel Adesanya fight, his hands aren't really like that crazy. He's got some power, but he's not really like got the craziest boxing combos or anything like that, especially compared to like the other boxers in his division. Obviously, he's a very great striker, but like I say, his boxing is probably the worst part of his striking arsenal. Uh, but I'd say that's probably the best comparison you could have for opponents. Maybe Nasruddin Imavov, you could probably include him. That might be a good pick as well. Maybe that's more of a similar level. But yeah, I'm going to say Israel Adesanya. They sort of fight same sort of game plan. Occasionally they get the odd finish here and there, but they're more decision type fighters. Big leg kickers. And then also on the other end for Ian Garry, his most similar opponent to Sean Strickland, in my opinion, is Darian Weeks. Both very defensively sound, both very good boxers. Obviously, Sean Strickland much bigger, levels above Darian Weeks, and he gave Ian Garry a really tough fight, man. It's not something people talk about, but Darian Weeks has an argument for winning that fight. It was a horrible fight. Like it really did suck. Uh, but Darian Weeks, the one thing about Darian Weeks, he's very defensively sound, very good boxer, but he doesn't have like a pressure style like Sean Strickland has. Sean Strickland's more pressure heavy. He's never out of your face. And the thing is, I definitely don't think Ian Garry has that one punch power that Alex Pereira has. Like, I don't even think he's more powerful than Israel Adesanya. I think he's got better overall boxing, but I don't think he is a better, more powerful puncher than Israel Adesanya. And we don't really know how Ian Garry would deal with pressure. I guess the closest we seen him deal with pressure was Gabe Green. But Gabe Green is a fucking punching bag. No offense to Gabe Green. I like Gabe Green, but, the guy, he is a punching bag. He's not very defensively sound. Every Gabe Green fight, look at fucking Daniel Rodriguez landed what, like fucking 200 significant strikes on his head? Like the guy's got no defense at all. So that you can't really include that. And even then, he sort of knocked Ian Garry off balance with a body shot, but that doesn't really matter too much in this stylistic matchup. So I would be going with Sean Strickland if this Ian Garry fight was to ever go down. Maybe in the future Ian Garry will have improved so much, and who knows, Sean Strickland might take a lot of damage at middleweight or something like that. But as of now, I would definitely be going with Sean Strickland. I just think the pressuring style, especially because he's going to be talking shit to Ian Garry, he's going to fucking non-stop be hitting him. And we know Ian Garry's not the most durable. That's another thing I'm going to mention. I think Sean Strickland's a much more durable guy than Ian Garry. I don't trust Ian Garry's chin. And, I said it in my video a few days ago that I didn't think he had a good chin. And then it comes out he's actually been knocked out cold in sparring. Obviously, I'm sure plenty of fighters get maybe, rattled or whatever. But still, it's not a good look that, he has been sparked in the training rooms when you're probably not going as hard as you would be in a fight. So, and we've seen him knocked down by Song Kanan. So it's like, I don't really trust in Ian Garry's chin, especially. I know Sean Strickland's not a power puncher by any means. Nobody's going to be going, shit, man, I don't know. I don't know if people can handle that one punch power from Sean Strickland. Nobody's ever saying that about Sean Strickland, all right? Nobody's ever said that. I guarantee you could look through every fucking video on the internet, go through all the archives. Nobody's going to be saying, watch out for that power from Strickland. But, nobody thought his power was good. But he did drop Israel Adesanya, who I'd say is a much, much better chin than Ian Garry. I think he could drop Ian Garry for sure. I think He could drop him, and I think he could put the pressure on him. I think he could really beat up Ian Garry. I generally do believe this. I think Sean Strickland is a really good. I think he's a. I think Ian Garry is a really good stylistic matchup for Sean Strickland. I think he could really hurt him. You know, what's Ian Garry going to do? He's going to be getting backed up. He's not going to have any space to throw any of his attacks. He doesn't really have any close. We've never really seen him in the pocket fight too much. You know, we haven't seen if he's like a dog in the pocket. You know, the closest we seen him was when he got fucking clipped by Song Kanan in the pocket when he went to the body, and then obviously Song Kanan countered back with a fucking hook from hell. That did drop him, and you know it took him a little bit to recover. He recovered decently quick, but it's not like his recovery was instant. Like it's not like some Volkanovski type recovery. He recovered, but it was a slow recovery in my opinion. I think I counted. It was about 30 seconds after he got knocked down before he like had fully recovered. Obviously, Song Kanan grappled a little bit. I think if he just kept going to the head, like maybe mix it to the body, make Ian Garry drop his hands, and then kept hitting into the head, he could have got that one done. But still, I could see Sean Strickland really just going at him, getting in his face, breaking him a little bit. We haven't seen Ian Garry go 5 rounds. Actually, I think he did go 5 rounds, actually. No, that's my mistake. He went 5 rounds in Cage Warriors to win the belt. But I don't think he's fought anyone who's going to be pressuring him like Sean Strickland. Like Sean Strickland would have the best cardio of anyone that Ian Garry's fought. He'd be the most pressure style, most breaking style of fighter that Ian Garry's fought. I could see Sean Strickland. I mean, let's be honest, fucking, he probably won't even do this, but I could see him mixing up the wrestling. I could see him getting Ian Garry down, but also Sean Strickland. He didn't shoot a takedown on Alex Pereira or Israel Adesanya, so he'd probably just keep it standing. And I could just see him breaking him pretty much. I just see him unloading cumulative damage over cumulative damage. You know, he's going to be doing the fucking man dance. Like, here's the fucking thing, guys. No man who lets his fucking wife's ex-husband be his nutritionist is going to beat me. I can imagine him saying that at the press conference. Holy fuck, the press conference. I haven't even got into that. Sean Strickland would fucking 10-5 Ian Garry before the fight even happens. At that press conference, Ian Garry would probably be mentally broken. He'd probably come out there aggressively swinging and just get caught with a 1-2 down the pipe and get dropped by Sean Strickland, in my opinion. You know, I don't think that fight would go very well for Ian Garry. Like, the press conference would break him. I feel like the type of press conference and then the beating Sean Strickland puts on him, I think that's the type of fight that just sort of ruins Ian Garry's confidence. Like, come on. The thing with Sean Strickland, he talks shit, and then if he's going to beat you, it's going to be in really embarrassing fashion where he's just fucking pressuring you, beating the shit out of you on the feet, and then talking, come on, here's the fucking thing. Here's the fucking thing, you guys. Throw a fucking punch, you bitch. Pussy! Like, you know, Sean Strickland does that shit. He'll be screaming. He'll be deep into the body. Like, look at it. Look what he did to Israel Adesanya. There's like 20 seconds left. You know, he just goes through that fucking transformation. He's using the Trevor fucking rage mechanic from GTA 5. You know, he's screaming at him with his hands down. Fucking, come on, do something. Do something, you fucking bitch. Like, I remember when he knocked out fucking Brendan Allen, he was screaming, fuck you, after every punch. And then he screams it when he knocks him out. Like, he would be saying so much shit. He'd be talking to Ian Garry while he does it. You know, maybe he'd pull a fucking Mike Breeden and Anshul Jubilee and be barking at him, you know, break him even quicker. I just think the things he would do to Ian Garry would be a fucking career-altering beating. Not just the overall fight. Like, I'm not saying Sean Strickland's fucking Max Holloway out there, but the things he would be saying and doing at the same time, like, it would really, I think, mentally just fucking destroy Ian Garry. Especially the longer that fight goes, the less confident Ian Garry would be. So yeah, I would be taking Sean Strickland's fight. Hopefully we get this fight down the line just for the press conference. Even if Sean Strickland's not the champion, let's just get this fucking grudge match. I need to see this. Sean Strickland's a fucking, he's a cunny funt. He's very funny. You know, the man has a good sense of humor. He's already gone at Ian Garry. Ian Garry's threatened to sue him. He just calls him a cuck. He doesn't give a shit. You know, so I'd love to see a press conference and I'd love to see a fight, and I would be taking Sean Strickland in this fight. But who knows? Ian Garry's still very young. He could improve. Obviously, by the time this fight happens, who knows where Sean Strickland will be at? Who knows where Ian Garry will be at? Maybe Ian Garry waits till Sean Strickland gets older so he can definitely win. But even then, Sean Strickland very defensively sound. I just think it would be a good day for Sean Strickland, and the post-fight press conference would probably be pretty funny too. So yeah, I'd take Sean Strickland. But yeah, that's all I've got to say about this hypothetical matchup. So if you made it this far into the video, let me know your thoughts on how this fight would go. Would you be going with Ian Garry getting this one done over Sean Strickland, or do you agree with me and think Sean Strickland would get this one done over Ian Garry? But yeah, that's all I've got to say about this matchup, like I say. So make sure you leave a like. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe, put on the notifications, share this video, and yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.